how often do you use artificial intelligence for your everyday tasks? Do you use it for recipes, maybe to learn a new language, or as a buddy for you to lean on? A study by KPMG and the University of Melbourne has found that half of Australians regularly use AI, but only 36% are willing to trust it. The question is, would you trust AI to do your taxes? You can text in now, 0467 922 612, or call in 1300 222 612. Sciacca's accountants and advisors, John Sciacca, joins you now. Good morning, John.
Morning, Ashwin. How are you?
I'm good. Have you started to embrace the world of AI?
AI. Not in doing my tax. I actually used it for 2 assignments. And I don't know, I felt a bit guilty using it. Am I cheating? But I wasn't. It was more about ideas, and then using those ideas, and then applying those ideas in my assignments with further research.
Now, don't you get in trouble if you use it in your assignments, or do you have to reword it?
Referenced it.
Oh, referencing.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And it was surprising because the institution, they brought up about AI and research, and I said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that now.
All right. So let's start with some of the risks of using AI in your tax this year. What should we be wary of?
Okay. Just on that, I just want to say something from the beginning, Ashwin. So, look, I'm a suburban accountant, okay? So I've used AI quite a lot, but there would be other professionals out there that are a lot more advanced when it comes to AI and using their tax. But I reckon from a suburban point of view, you could say that I'd probably be more reflective of the public out there in using AI, all right, which is those platforms, was it ChatGPT and OpenAI, right? So when we get to talking about risks, I mean, the obvious risk is getting it wrong, okay? So it just depends on the questions that you ask the platform, all right? Because there's a danger of asking the question for the answer that you're looking for.
People must be asking things like, what expenses can I deduct this year? That must be a common question you would ask AI.
And that's a global type question, right?
Yeah.
But if you go specific, so if you say, look, I just did one, prior to this interview, so I'm a registered nurse working for Queensland Health, what allowable deductions can I claim? And I was really surprised on what it could come up with, right? But to minimise that risk, honestly, you need to fact check it with the tax office. They've got fantastic material on the portal, right? And you don't have to reinvent the wheel every year when it comes to doing your tax. You can have it as a template and carry it forward for the following year, but then just just in case there are any tax changes, just checking it prior.
Okay, so what are the penalties if you get things like this wrong?
Penalties, okay. So how long's a piece of string? So okay, if you get it wrong, the ATO now, I get emails where they will say, it's an automatic generated email. Your client's tax return is taking longer to be processed because we're reviewing it. So at that point in time in processing the tax return, they're reviewing it, and they may question the deductions claimed. But if it goes beyond the review, right? And you get it wrong, then it can go to an audit. And then if that audit's found against you, there's penalties where, number one, you've got to pay that tax back, plus fines, plus, shortfall interest charge, and then general interest charge, which is, it's around 11%. And so from the 1st of July 2025, only a couple of days ago, they've changed the rules where you can't claim that interest as a tax deduction anymore. So can you imagine having an audit 3 years down the track, having the compounding effect of 11%, which is a pretty good return? Well, that interest is going to hit you, and also fines as well.
Okay, so some costs to watch out for.
Definitely.
More serious penalties like jail time. That's only for fraud and really serious activities rather than mistakes, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you've generated a scheme to avoid tax.
Right. Okay, so but still fines to worry about. Helen has called in from Ferny Grove. Hi, Helen.
Oh, hello, how are you?
Good. What's on your mind this morning?
I'm a physiotherapist and a clinical educator, and I have some concerns about the accuracy of the AI summaries that come up. It is quite common for patients to come in and say, "Oh, Dr. Google said,
right.
X, Y, Z," and then when I'll type in their question, the AI summary will come up. and sometimes it's actually contrary to what the evidence-based guidelines are saying, because it does extract information across blogs. And blogs are not necessarily in alignment with the literature. I also have concerns about students if they're using AI rather than critically appraising the research. So it's a really important skill for students to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think it's undermining people's faith in their expert? They think, well, I know, my expert doesn't know everything. I'll use AI and I'll offer some solutions, some treatments, whatever it may be, and it's undermining their belief in the expert?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I do have patients where I do gently try to talk them through what the evidence-based guidelines are saying, but they're very committed to what Dr. Google said, and that's what they want.
Yes, because they probably hear podcasters and conspiracy theorists saying, your doctor is just part of the mainstream system. Here's the real effective approach.
Yes, yeah.
Good one to think about, Helen. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
John, do people come in with you with their AI solutions of what they would like you to do?
I'll tell you what, like using AI is like barbecue advice. Quite often a client would say, can I claim this?
Yes.
And then literally I say, well, it's like on a Monday morning and, I don't know, I've been here for a while now. It's like, you were at a barbecue yesterday, weren't you? Yeah. So you know what I mean? So they're at a barbecue and they've said, I can claim this. I can claim this on the and claim it as a tax deduction. At this point in time with AI, I honestly think that's where we're at because, like Helen had said, it'll search the web and it actually tells you that. It will search through the web and it can access information that's incorrect, right? So honestly, look at the ATO website. It's got the information there. You can use AI for ideas. Right? But you do need to check it. You do. Because we're talking about money here. We're talking about, and you don't want to say, oh, great, I got a $3,000 refund and it was just incorrect,
How do you think that will change the profession? So maybe it's in its infancy now, but it's growing. What will AI do to accounting and tax returns over the years ahead, do you think?
Okay, so the professional bodies, they'll be well equipped for it. They'll definitely adapt, and they're adapting now. It's the accountants and the bookkeepers, right? So and this is like with technology at the end of the day, right? You're going to have people in the 60 lane and those in the 100-kilometre range, right? Like the lane, right? And so those ones that are in the fast lane will look for opportunities in AI, right? And what can we do there? Sometimes those opportunities will fall on their lap. Sometimes they make those opportunities. Whereas the majority of those in the slow lane, which, I'm raising my right hand, that's me.
You were saying suburban accountant.
Correct, right, because you're busy, operating your business and helping your clients, right? So we'll just adapt to it. And it's like anything. It's like when internet came in, it's just a slow evolution. That's why I see it. So let people make the mistakes first. Let people, be the discoverers, and then we'll just take it on.
Sure. Don't be a first mover when it comes to tax mistakes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's too dangerous.
Definitely.
PH has written in, everyone keeps talking about using AI, but I suggest most people don't understand what they are playing with. The term AI is now being assigned to pretty much everything. The fact is that the large language models are really just using old technology with great processing power and access to a lot of data. The outcomes of inquiries results from looking at everything that can be accessed, wrong and right, cannot be trusted at all. That is from PH. You said go to the ATO website. The minimum you could do is to tell AI, can you scrape the ATO website and tell me what you can? But don't rely on the information. Just use it to summarise and get you some data in order for you to ask questions later.
Get ideas, but you do need to fact check it because what I said earlier, we're talking about, dollars and cents. You don't want to get it wrong, right? So, it won't save you 5 minutes. It won't save you 10 minutes. Make the investment in your financial well-being, right? Get it right. Check it with AI, and that will develop over the years. To what form, we don't know, right?
The earlier academic who called about the physiotherapist said people are coming in with their own medical advice now. Are you concerned that people will become financial experts in their own mind and will take big chances? Are you noticing that with clients, that people are taking bigger risks now because they think AI and Dr. Google can solve it?
Yeah, I'm seeing that now. like say for example, like when we get to say cryptocurrency, right? Like again, like people, they look on YouTube, they get all these ideas about Bitcoin, right? And they invest in Bitcoin. That's just an example. And they say it's again, John, it's like AI, it's the new frontier. Time will tell, and time will tell with AI, but I can't see it replacing the professional. The reason why is that, we're talking about human relationships here, right? You can have a conversation with AI, but it's very limited, right? The accountant and the bookkeeper, the financial advisor will ask questions and will build up we'll build up your financial, sort of balance sheet of where you are. AI, I'm pretty sure can't do that now. And I can't see it happening in the future.
Still a place for humans. John, before I let you go, is there anything we haven't covered that you'd just like to get out there when it comes to this topic?
About AI. I think it's worthwhile to use it as an exercise to see what, you're doing your tax return. And this would be pretty much for people that self-prepare, right? You get all the information through MyGov for data download on the income that you've earned.
Yes.
So we're only talking deductions here, right? And say, your tax offsets. You can ask AI and build those deductions list, but you need to get it checked with the tax office. Go on the portal, make that investment of time. It's only half an hour to an hour, right? And then you can carry it forward to the following year and minimise that risk.
Maybe you can ask, where's the nearest accountant near me?
I know one in Brisbane.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what they're good for. They're good for locations, and they can probably check Google Maps reviews.
Correct.
And but when it comes to your money, be careful. John Sciacca from Sciacca's Accountants and Advisors, thank you for coming in today.